Hello students, in our previous video we have completed the excretory system. In that we have studied about the organs which are involved in the excretory system. Now we will study the functional unit of kidney, which is the nephron. Nephron are also known as uriniferous tubules, okay, and also known as the filtration unit. Okay, that means the function of kidney is actually occurring in the nephron. That is why the functional unit of kidney it is also known as. Okay, so what nephron does, it filters the blood and forms urine, and each kidney has about 1 million of nephrons. And all of you know that we have one pair of kidneys, that means two kidneys. Okay, and one kidney, each kidney contains 1 million of nephrons. Okay, so moving on to the structure of nephron. Structurally it has mainly divided into two parts. One is the Malpighian body and the second one is renal tubule. Malpighian body has two parts, that means Bowman's capsule and glomerulus. These two collectively called as Malpighian body. And the renal tubule has three parts: proximal convoluted tubule, which in short known as PCT, loop of Henle, and distal convoluted tubule, which also in short known as DCT. Now let's draw the structure of nephron and understand how it works. Okay, in the diagram of excretory system, we have shown the renal artery. Okay, we have shown the renal artery. Branch of renal artery I am going to show in the structure of nephron. Okay, suppose this is the renal artery. Okay, branch of renal artery, all of you know what is this known as. This is known as your renal artery, and the branch is known as arteriole. Okay, and this branch is known as afferent arteriole. Okay, the afferent arteriole enters into a cup shaped structure okay, which is known as your Bowman's capsule. Okay, now the afferent arteriole inside the Bowman's capsule, it converted into capillaries, a network of blood capillaries. Okay, and it exits the Bowman's capsule or cup-like structure as efferent arteriole. So this one is known as efferent arteriole. Inside the Bowman's capsule, this network like structure or the network of blood capillaries, this structure is known as glomerulus. So this network like structure is known as glomerulus. Now this Bowman's capsule forms a tube-like structure, a coiled structure like this. Okay, and this coil-like structure is known as proximal convoluted tubule. PCT, in short I am writing PCT, proximal convoluted tubule. Okay, now the proximal convoluted tubule is running down to form a U-shaped tubule, which is known as the loop of Henle. It is a U-shaped structure and this is known as loop of Henle. Okay, now the loop of Henle is again coiled and this coiled structure is known as the distal convoluted tubule, or the DCT in short. So this is known as the DCT, distal convoluted tubule. The distal convoluted tubule now unites or joins a collecting duct. The branches you can see in the collecting duct are actually, these are the distal convoluted tubule of another nephron. This is also a distal convoluted tubule of another nephron. So that means the distal convoluted tubules of different nephrons are joined to the collecting duct. So this one is the collecting duct. I have shown the efferent and efferent arteriole in pink color. Okay. Now the efferent arteriole is connected to the distal convoluted tubule like this. They are all connected. And the proximal convoluted tubule and loop of Henle also. So these are connected like this. So you can show it like this. So these are the arterioles which are connected to the tubules. Okay. And from the, all of you know that veins are also connected with the arteries. Okay, so the oxygen which are being used up during this processes, and the carbon dioxide rich blood will produced, of course, and that will be carried out by the veins. That means capillaries, venules, isn't it? Large number of capillaries will carry those deoxygenated blood, and they will form the venules, and the venules will again combine to form the renal vein. Okay, and this is green part is the renal vein. Okay, and this renal vein, of course, we have already seen in the excretory system part. So that means in case of renal artery, the blood is going into the kidney. Renal artery, blood is going into the kidney, and through the renal vein, the blood is going out. Now I hope you can understand that the renal vein and renal artery that we have drawn during the excretory system. Okay, understood? Renal artery that is going into the kidneys, to both the kidneys. Okay, divided into arterioles, okay, forming like this, afferent arteriole, okay, like this. And again the capillaries or the venules, we can say, those are joined together to form the renal vein, okay, which collect the carbon dioxide rich blood. Okay, the renal vein. Renal, what is related to the kidney. Now let's see the function of nephron, how urine is formed in case of nephron. Through the renal artery, the blood will be carried out through the afferent arteriole, and it goes into the glomerulus. Okay, and you can see the blood capillary which is coming out of the Bowman's capsule or glomerulus is thinner than this. Afferent arteriole is thicker, whereas afferent arteriole is narrower. This is wider and this is narrower. So due to this, a pressure is created in the glomerular region, and due to that pressure, some water, large amount of water, we can say, with that waste substances and along with some useful substances filtered into the Bowman's capsule. Okay, so due to the pressure created, because this is a wider lumen and this is a narrower lumen. The blood capillaries has a narrower lumen, and that is why as pressure is created, and due to that pressure, large amount of water, some useful substances and some waste, those are filtered into the Bowman's capsule. Okay, so we can see over here the process is known as glomerular filtration or ultrafiltration, because the filtration is going on in the glomerulus. That is why it is known as glomerular filtration or ultrafiltration. Okay, as I told you, large amount of water, certain useful compounds and harmful waste are filtered out into the Bowman's capsule. Okay, and from the Bowman's capsule, the filtrate is known as the glomerular filtrate. Now the filtrate is known as the glomerular filtrate. The filtrate is now moving on, flows into the which part? Proximal convoluted tubule, the PCT part. Okay, the PCT part. Okay. What happens in the proximal convoluted tubule? Proximal means near to the Bowman's capsule. Convoluted means coiled structure, and tubule, of course, all of you know, tubular structure. And this one is the main site of selective reabsorption. Reabsorption means what? The useful substances which are filtered, that will be again reabsorbed into the blood vessels. Some useful substances like sodium, glucose, amino acids, some salts which are actually useful to our body, they will again reabsorbed from this proximal convoluted tubule into the blood vessel, because these are needful, these are useful for our body, so they will be reabsorbed into the bloodstream. Okay, now from the PCT, the filtrate will move on to the loop of Henle. Okay, what happens in the loop of Henle? Let's see. Loop of Henle is a U-shaped tubular structure, and its main function is that water and sodium chloride are reabsorbed from the filtrate. Okay, what happens? Most of the water and the sodium chloride, those are again reabsorbed into the blood vessel. Okay, will be reabsorbed into the blood vessel. Okay, and next part is our distal convoluted tubule. Okay, from the loop of Henle, the filtrate will move on to the DCT or distal convoluted tubule. Okay, what happens in this case? In DCT, water, some NaCl, that is sodium chloride, these are reabsorbed again into the blood vessel, while some waste ions, hydrogen ions, those are again secreted into the filtrate. If there is some waste substances in the blood vessels, they are again secreted, or they are again returned back into the filtrate, into the DCT, distal convoluted tubule. Okay, useful substance reabsorbed and waste secreted into the filtrate or distal convoluted tubule. Okay, now you can see the distal convoluted tubule opens into the collecting duct. It opens into the collecting duct, and the substances which are secreted, and that process is known as tubular secretion. Okay, we have seen three processes over here. One is glomerular filtration or ultrafiltration, number one. Okay, second one is selective reabsorption, where the useful substances are reabsorbed again into the blood vessel. And third, we have seen the process which is tubular secretion. That means the waste materials which are present in the blood vessel, they are again secreted into the filtrate, or we can say the tubule of nephron. Okay. Okay, now the filtrate flows into the collecting duct. Okay, filtrate will move on or flow into the collecting duct. In the collecting duct also, some water are again reabsorbed into the blood vessel, into the bloodstream. Okay, so that means now the urine is formed. Okay, now the filtrate which is formed after the reabsorption, secretion, all of these processes, the composition that we got is the urine. And the urine so formed will be then through the collecting duct, it will move on to the ureter. Through the ureter, okay, through the ureter it will goes to the urinary bladder where it is stored temporarily. Then through the urethra it comes out of our body or removed out of our body as urine. Okay. So what is the composition of urine? What are the substances which are present? It contains about 95% of water, urea, creatinine, ammonia, uric acid. These are the nitrogenous waste. Sodium chloride, some ions, calcium, hydrogen ions are also present in the urine. Okay, students, I hope all of you understood about the structure and function of nephron. Thank you everyone.